All you devils out there, happy Friday. Oh, here we are just about 1 o'clock here in Austin. Oh, I got a nice lineup here. We're going to start with Bitcoin. For a change, I'm going to start with the bull count. This is not my primary count, but it's one of two, and it's certainly gaining traction, and we have a very clear location here, a pivot that if swept, we can eliminate the more bearish count, which we'll look at in a second, although I reviewed that for the last, 5-6 weeks. So this is the bull count. Most of my team, this is what they're leaning into, so I don't want to discount it. I just, we've got, if we sweep this pivot here, okay, then we can probably lean into the fact that we're going to finish this with a leading diag, right? It's not like it doesn't happen. I'm a little surprised by it, but it's right on track, right? So 3, this can be done either way. 3, clear 3 here. Interesting. These two sections here, the swing down and the swing up, are the most tenuous in my view in terms of the clarity of the count there. But if we look at the overall structure here, it's very possible here we're going to come up here and pivot somewhere near this trend line. Now you will note here there's a couple of liquidity. There's 1, 2, 3. We've got, if I include the highest high, our all-time high, a lot of liquidity up here. So you can see the motivation to go up here and chase that. Where can the algo find entry? Right? Where can whales get entry, or at these liquidity points, right? So they're often targets. Now you've had several of these already been swept. I certainly don't want to discount that one. That's also in there as well. So we've got all of this potential liquidity here, 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 here. All of these are attractions for the algo to come up and transact, right? That's what its job is. So if we're going to do it 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, we're going to be likely somewhere up in this range. It would be, market's going to do what it's going to do, but this would be less probable, right? So of course anything's possible, right? But that would surprise me. I'd be pleasantly surprised. Right? Despite my caution here with the Bitcoin technical analysis, I'm a perma bull, so I'm plenty long. Now I wouldn't be disappointed. A little surprised, but okay, right? It's not leading diag, a contracting diag in the one. All right, it's not like it doesn't happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So this is where I think you really, so just here, if I zoom in here, this is where we really can lean into it, because the alternate we'll look at in a second is that this is 1, 2, 1, 2. We got more to go down here into the low 50s. Now, right now, it's bullish day. Everything's up, right? It's risk on. Pretty good sweep up here towards the pivot here. Now, you'll note here, this is anchored VWAP. All I've done here is just use anchored VWAP from this low, right? We come in and tag it. It happens to be the POC, again, from this low. I'm just using this one here. You can just pick a pivot. It'll draw the volume profile. So, boom. We swept the prior liquidity here at that low, anchored VWAP, POC. So the point being, whales can transact in here, right? You got lots of liquidity, lots of volume there, so they can get in the market there without disrupting, the bid-ask profile, right? So the potential here, right? So that would likely, I think, confirm it for anyone who's on the fence here, who shares my view that this is a bit surprising, but shit, the market surprises me all the time, right? So, okay, if we come in here now, keep in mind that if we're going to finish this here, if we're going to do it something like this, if we're going to do an A, B, and come up here in a C, again, I would be cautious about assuming, beyond that. But let's just assume we do something traditional, typical, normal. Well, if we do that, right, what are we anticipating after that? Right, again, not what do we know? What do we anticipate? Right, we'd be looking for some sort of a retrace here. There's going to be a 1. So that would suggest, right, we might come back down into this location down here, which is essentially, right, what we just left. Whoops. Oh, I guess we can get that off of there. If we're going to do it this way, if we're going to come back down here, you would anticipate A, B, C, right, to give us a 2, and then we go. If it goes this way, right, I may play ball in here, right? If we sweep this pivot and then we get a decent retrace here and it's technical, right, and we know what that looks like, we get something like this, I may take a run at that. wait and see. What does this look like? What does this look like? What, do we get a clean 3 here up for that push? You probably get a corner pocket in there as well. If we were to get something like this, right? Shooting for minimum this before we start to come back down looking for a 2, right? In that, again, no reason to assume anything other than the norm. Right. I mean, if you're going to assume anything, right, I wouldn't assume abnormal. Okay, right. So there's the bull count, right? And right now, right, here, let me lower that pivot. So what is this here? 64, 380 in that range, right? We break that, then the 1, 2, right? That's off the table. Okay, so because that has not happened yet, and I mean, we want to look at both sides of the TA here, if you will. Since we haven't done that yet, let's, I got to find it over here. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Okay, here it is. Now I'm over on BloFin. All right, it's our sponsor. Right? So when I can, since I don't have full history here, but since I don't need it here, because all we're talking about is this section here. Now I'm out of log scale, right? So if I don't have to be in log scale, I'd rather not be. So same idea here. Oh, we've just gone through here. Here's anchored VWAP from the top. Right, we looked at it before. Oh, it's from over here. Okay, well, we're to and through. Good sign. All right, so there's that. Here's the POC, to and through. Now, this is the question mark, right? And this is our invalidation. Here we can see already this was a liquidity sweep. Here's the line I just drew on the other side here. And we'll just fatten that up here. Let's make that 2 and put it in green. All right, so we can see that. Okay, so we sweep this, right? And this is a very strong push here. If we sweep this, well, we can eliminate any thought that it's A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That would suggest we're going down here, right? Which is the alternate count. That we've done a W, we've done an A, B, C into an X, and we're going to do an A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back down here. Well, okay, right? Given what we see here, right? We're threatening that pivot. This is the kind of thing where there's absolute clarity. We don't have to wonder, oh, is that expanded? If we break that, we can eliminate any possibility of a 1, 2, right? So I personally, right, I like that clarity. Right? It eliminates one of the decisions we have to make here. So if I pull that off here and we look at what we've done here, looks like we are likely now to and through the golden, or maybe not. Yes, we are, right? So here, even it wouldn't matter, log scale or not. So we're to and through. So I would just being cautious. Oh, where's the 707, right? So we're at the 707. Right? We still got a ways to go to get up here to 64. For those of you that prefer the other count, right? The benefit here is that we're just moving in a straight line. This is a straight. There's no. Well, even if I go to a 60 here, there's almost no. It's just a straight shot, right? We're just going straight line, right? That's pure algo driven. So is there a B in here, right? It's a. Gosh, right now, Elliott's not perfect, right? But what you would anticipate something more like this. It was going to be a good 2 before we came down here. So at this point, it's looking rather bullish. So if this is going to hold for the other count, which would have this being A, B, C, it's starting to look more like an A going in here. If we come back over here, we're going into an A, B, C, right? If this is the A here, it would be, well, we can push that off here, right? So you'd have A, B, C up for the 5. Right? So it looks like that may well be what we're getting here. Right? As we bang into the 707, we're getting a push. Okay, right? I'm not getting on board that count until we sweep that high. Right? Until ideally, right, you get a close above it. But even so, even if we just get a wick through it, it would eliminate the 2, right? A 2 cannot have a wick go a tick through it, right? So we could take that off the table. So we shall see, right? Again, very little subdivision there. So that's just a straight shot, right, from the lows. Oh, and you can see, right, same thing, right? Always, right? Sweep the low. That's often the trigger for when we go, just like up at the top, same thing. Right? It's always the same thing. Liquidity is the key, right? It's what moves the markets as we move back and forth. Right? So sweep the high, sweep the low. Now it's internal liquidity, right? So from the internal liquidity range here, both high and low have been swept. All right, so all that's left here now is for any imbalances here prior to sweeping the next high. Do we have any imbalances here? Oh, shit. I don't see a lot. Well, you got it. Well, that's already been mitigated, right? So you really have nothing here. You've got a little unmitigated order flow up here, and just a little bit right there. But if we're, well, that'd still be valid as a supply zone. We still have potential supply up here, right? This we consolidated here, so you can think drop, base, drop. So we consolidate here before we start to head down. The move down is a clean 5, right? It's a clear impulse. So, right, so we begin and we end, right? So did we end here? If it's ABC and it's not going to be a 1, if it's going to be an ABC into that, ABC, we completed here. If it's a 1, we're just beginning. 2. Right, up here, right? So you can see my alerts are up here. That's where we invalidate that. It's sure starting to look like that's an A wave. Or let me just say it's impulsive, right? So we could easily do this, right? We could come back down and do something like this and then go, right? So don't forecast in your mind's eye, new all-time highs. I'm not saying they're not coming. I'm just saying careful about what you assume. That's my own point. Okay, right? So then, of course, what's the algo going to do, right? If we sweep this high, right, well, we've already broken, right? We got to go back here. Because that's what the algo is going to do, right? Oh, come here. Put it here. Come here. Right on the pivot. Will be interesting, right? So this if we sweep this, it will not be an option to be a 1-2. But what are we going to have here? Algo does not care about the Elliott count, right? So we shall see what happens here. Note that supply zone I just drew here is right in that golden zone here from the alternate pivot. Okay, right. So it's too soon to call it. Get a decent retrace here. So as we were just looking at here, this is where I would be interested, right there. It stays consistent with my view of the market and our technical approach. We want to buy into retracements, not to breakouts. So let's see if we can break this. If we get that, what would that be? That would be a minor break of structure. What break structure? It doesn't matter. It's a market structure shift, right? What do we anticipate? Retrace. Now we could go up here and go a little higher. Right, sweep this. Retrace, double sweep, down, golden zone. Yeah, I'll buy that. But they're here. I just did it myself. Don't assume we're going to new all-time highs, right? The diag here would likely be finishing up in this range. Now, again, the market's going to do what it's going to do. It's under no obligation. Oh well, there's a trend line there. I must stop there. It's just what it usually does. Okay, so that's enough on Bitcoin. I think we have that covered here. It's a little bit, we kind of wait and see what we get there. I've got a little hot list here, so hang on a second. All right, so I have a little hot list here. You guys know I like alt fins here. I often come here for idea generation here, so I come over to their TA. And look at the hot list here. I thought interesting, Bitcoin finally made the hot list. We're going to go through everything. XMR, I don't see anything there, so we'll just come back here. Some Bitcoin we covered. Let's go to quant. All right, so I have it here. Hang on a second. Have it here in BloFin, right? So if Bitcoin's going to do a diag, right, you would anticipate perhaps that alts might do the same thing. So here you see a pretty good example. 3. It's kind of like Bitcoin, right? I guess we're calling it a 3. Some A, B, C. It's kind of sloppy. A, B, C, A, B, C. Oh, boom, golden. No surprise, right? So there's the target. Right? So this has just a perfect, you can buy this right now. Low risk, you're in the discount. Oh, you're just creeping past the discount. You could buy it right now, right here at 67, right? Quant to the tether on BloFin. Or you almost here. I've got them on both, right? So let's look at it. Here we can stay over here. I've got the next one up there. Perfect. It's literally just textbook. Now, the other thing you might consider, let's get this back here, right, is in a diag, you often like to see the 4. If you take the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3 at the 50, it's an ideal spot for it, right? And then we would be swing low, swing high. We'd be just in the discount here. Now, it's not uncommon to get a little front run on that 50, right? Because that's where algos are operating. That wouldn't be surprising, right? So you could wait for, maybe you're going to get a little pullback here on this. Although, as we sit here with this in the golden, I would not assume it, right? So one thought would be, okay, maybe take 65, 70% of your trade on now and then keep a little in reserve in case you would get one more little pushback. to get into the lower golden from the swim, or to the 50 from the pivot here. All right, so near, why would you not buy that? Only one reason, right? You have something you like better, or you're out of bullets. All right, so quant looks quite good over here on BloFin, right? It's a no-brainer, right? I mean, I'm not saying that's a guaranteed winner. I'm saying the risk reward there is very favorable. Stop. Use 707. So again, it's not the kids' tuition money, but that's a very reasonable trade just sitting there. Okay, let's go over to Phantom. All right, let's come back. Oh, I thought I had this. Oh, so maybe I had to do Phantom. I don't have enough history on Phantom here. Let's go to a 4-hour. Hang on a second, because I have them on. Yeah, here's Phantom on Kraken, right? So if I don't have enough history on BloFin, which in this case I don't, just based on the date that they hit TradingView, I'll come over. I'm going to always look for a U.S.-based exchange here, something that U.S. residents or like myself can trade. So here's Kraken, which I do trade on there, amongst others. Right. So okay. Right. So here's my daily history on Phantom. Another diag, right? Is this what we're doing? Is this just going to be diag city? Kind of looks that way. Oh, this would have to be a WXY 3, WXY, ABC, ABC. Oh, that looks like that's technical. Right here. Oh, they got a wick through it, right? Looks like what they did with Bitcoin. Wick got through, but then third target to the tick. It's unbelievable. Okay, so we got that. Now, if we're coming off of this, okay, well, wait a second. Now, if this is going to be a diag, I'm expecting a series of threes. Is this going to be A, B, C? Sure looks like we're just working on the A wave here, because if this is going to go, if we're going to stay in this series of threes, you'd anticipate A, B, C. All right, we do something much bigger here. So if we just might as well use the trend lines that are here, that would be available to us, right? Just, it's, not that expansive, but enough, right? You would certainly call this a leading diag if that's what we're doing, right? So is this A? Sure looks like it's an impulse. I mean, you wouldn't want to force fit something else. It looks like I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, working on a 4. There could be another rollover here. That's a daily. Let's go to a 4. What are we doing here? 1, 2, that's solid. Looks like that's technical as well. To the 50, first target. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's got a little squishy up there. Might do it here. Put the 4 here, right? If that's going to be the low, 3, 3. Oh, it could be WXY. I don't know that it matters, right? Here you got an ABC here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you got a 1 going in there. Let's go to a 1 hour. All right, if I can find trades that are ripe, I always like to do that if I can give them to you. 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's right there. ABC. All right, let's get that off of there. How do we look here? I see, note, right? Same process every time, right? That's our edge. So we go right into the pocket down here. Now we got a wick we got 2 wicks go through the golden, but we seem to hold this pocket down here. 707, right? It's a good example, right? Other side of the 707. Often, if you're going to use golden zone, that's an ideal place for a stop, right? So you would have been spared that. You don't want to put it a tick under the 65, right? It's too well known now, right? Too many people using it. So 707, a good place for a stop. ABC, 1, 2. We're getting started there. Well, if we are, right, lots of upside. If this is the 4, if the 4 is in here, let's take these up a bit. Oh, come here, let's make that bigger. Minuet, let's put it in white so we can see it. 4, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. I know it's a shame the market doesn't move in 5s and 3s anymore. It'd be so much easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2. All right. So if that's going to go, where would your target be? Well, if we're going to get a 3, That'd be the 1618. That's where they usually go. We'd have in here as well, right? Just because we didn't hold the golden, we still have a corner pocket. Here, 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 here. Don't know. Well, I mean, shit, we can make it right here, right? That's the downside with something. I might actually even pull this off over here. But that's the downside to something with it. We have a sharp retracement like this. They're not as good for median lines because you get to the median line too quickly. So for that, I would just do traditional channeling. Is this what we got? All right, I've only got the 1 and the 2 until I get that 3. Then once I get the 3, then I'll shift it up. But right now, I've just got a 1 and a 2. So into this cluster down here, you can see all the, oh shit, if I put a volume profile on it, you know you're going to have a lot of volume there. Good place for muscle to enter. 1, 2. Got a long way to go into the 3, so phantom, very viable. Now, you might, at this point, well, there's a 1 hour, you might wait for that to finish whatever it's doing here. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're likely to have that before you go. So that's what I would do. You're kind of late to that party, right? If you weren't watching it, you know, at this point, are we in the premium or the discount, right? Duh. All right, so we're at premium, so we got to wait now. Annoying. I know, it's annoying. Oh, fuck, can't I just buy it now? Well, you can. Have at it. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm just saying if you're buying it, just know that you're buying it at premium, right? So if it comes back down, maybe you learn a lesson. Maybe you're like, oh, you know what? Next time I'm going to wait. If you're buying it now, why are you buying it? Only one reason. Always just one. FOMO. Okay, let's try and avoid the FOMO. Okay, so that's Phantom. What else do I have on my list here? That's on Kraken. So let's get over here. Phantom, XMR, here, it's on the list here, but there's nothing here. This is just in a giant range. Kind of surprised what they have here for XMR, that we're in a sideways channel. Yeah, you could say that. Sideways channel is exactly right. No, there's just nothing to do here. I'm kind of surprised, right, that there's even any discussion that might be teed up to go. I see nothing here that would make me want to buy that. This looks like I got a 5 here. Well, all we've done is just sweep liquidity there. So talk about a bad play. Well, let me rephrase that. So this would be a high risk location, right? You can see the sweeps of liquidity there. I would caution you to buying into that. Well, again, right? Well, this is log here. Let's take it out of log. Right, it's such a simple discipline, right? It's so easy to say, oh no, I'm only going to buy it in the discount. I'm not going to. You're paying full retail here. Now you could do this and say, oh wait, but I'm buying it here. Whoa, you're about to hit retail. It's up to the individual, right? How much? I'd be careful. I don't know how else to say it, right? I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you that's a high risk location to enter the market, right? Now, I'm not saying it's not going to go to the moon. I'm just saying careful there, right? Okay, that's probably enough to say there. Okay, so what else do I have on this? I've got on this little hot list here, so we can see it here. Next up was OP. We've got a channel up, so let's look at what OP is doing. Optimism. Here on BloFin, it looks like we've got the same kind of issue going on. Are we doing a series of leading diags? Well, it sure looks that way, right? This looks very much like Bitcoin. So we can just, oh shit, come here. All right, so we can do this. I'll go with the green. We can do this. Is this an ABC? Right. Oh, let's see if I do this. Does it change back? Yeah, it does. Okay, right, so ABC, 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 AB. Is that the 4? Where are we going? Well, just keep in mind, right? So, I mean, you know, it's up to you if you want to think, oh, you know, patterns, right? Fuck patterns, right? Patterns don't matter. All that matters is, you know. I'll leave it at that, right? So, I mean, is this a pattern that we know is prone to repeating? Yes. Does that mean this will come up here and must do that? Of course not. Of course not. Where are we here? Double bottom in the golden zone. Coincidence? Think you know what I would tell you. We got a good target up here. Okay, well, is it, oh shit, did I miss my, oh, here, I gotta do it this way. Did I miss my window to buy it? Did you? Well, she just went into retail. If this is the 4, remember, right? The forecast is, again, no one knows, right? We're anticipating this to get there in a 3. Now, maybe we do it this way, right? Again, market's under no obligation to do anything ever. It's going to do what it's going to do. But okay, maybe this is where you'd be keep an eyeball on this, right? Can I get a push and then a retrace? So do I get an A here, right? Can I get an A, B, C? Can I finish this in a zigzag? I don't know why you would assume you wouldn't, right? Wouldn't that be your first thought? Well, okay, that's what it usually does. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, double in the golden, A, B. That's where you want to buy it. You buy it now. What are you basing that off of? Oh shit, man, that thing was going. I didn't want to miss it. FOMO kills many. Okay, that's over on BloFin. I don't think we need to go beyond that. Oh, that would look just like Bitcoin, right? Are we doing 3s, right? It's a WXY. Oh, just so that we've covered it. What have I got them on? Coinbase here, I think. We have our history, yeah, 3-4. Oh, that's got a lot of SMC on it. Anything I need to see out on the daily to change my opinion about that? Something you always want to check is it trading technically? Is it? Is there something I need to say? 6 years, this is all I've done, pretty much just one after the other, over and over and over again, right? Ken, as you hear me say this every single week, it's not why it moves, it's how it moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Oh shit, those look kind of tricky. Oh, this looks like it could be 3, 3, 3, WXY. Okay, so here's that leading diag again. Now, where are we coming from? Get this one. This one's already been. Oh, you can kind of get a feel for what happened here. Right, always look left, right? That's your almost always will be your launch point, right? You'll get a sweep of liquidity, right? That's your heads up. And then often it's the sweep, and then it's the failure to sweep the lower sweep, right? Because you can say, well, what about sweeping that one, right? Wouldn't that be like, oh, what about that one? Well, sooner or later, there's a swing that fails, right? Just in market structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of structure. Right, so we're doing this in 3s, which is a little abnormal, but again, it's not like it doesn't happen. So up we go for the 3. Okay, when we finish the 3, again, there's a very clear methodology here. That's all I ever do is just show you the methodology, right? I try to go out of my way to not make this about me. It's not about me. I'm just teaching everything we teach within TradeDevils University, right? We just teach this methodology, right? And so what I'm really doing here is proving the methodology to you. That doesn't mean we're not wrong. There is no trader anywhere that is not wrong more than, well, I shouldn't say that. You do not need, let me rephrase that. You do not need to be right more than you're wrong to be profitable, right? I've said that for many, many, many years now. That's not the goal, right? It's not about being right. It's about being profitable. It takes people a long time to reconcile that. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out, right? But nobody wants to be wrong more than they're right. But if you can't deal with that, you're in the wrong business, my friend, right? You've got to be able to deal with that. Is this A, B, C, A, B, C, A? Is this 3, 3, 5? It's a little, okay, it's a little wacky here. What we're doing here, it's not traditional Elliott, but, well, I shouldn't say that. You can put an Elliott count on it, but what matters here is now I've got a pivot, I've got a candidate. And often what happens with Elliott Wave, it will be elusive. It's like, what the? And then it'll just it's like out of the smoke comes the, what do I want to use here? Phoenix? Something comes, you get out of this consolidation and then it shows up, right? And then you'll come out of it with a clear impulse. And then you're like, oh, okay, there it is. That looks like what's happening here. Now, reminder, if we do this, if we complete this fifth up here, don't go, oh shit, I missed it completely. God, I really like that one. I wanted to get in optimism. What are we anticipating next? So that's why the FOMO is such a moronic way to trade, right? Yeah, oh shit, I was going, I didn't want to miss it. Right now, okay, sometimes they're going to go and you're going to miss some. You are. But that's, again, if you're just chasing, right, sooner it's just, you're not going to be long for the markets, right? They will just chew you up. You can't chase. You have to have a method, an approach, an entry model if you want to use contemporary language. Oh, what's your model? What's your entry model? What is your, really what it comes down to, what's your edge? See, when I demonstrate here, the way that I do it, because we do it the same way every time, that's the edge. So if somebody asks me what my edge is, I can explain it to them in great detail. I know exactly what it is. If you can't describe your edge, you don't have one. No edge, no trade. No edge, no success over the long-term trading. It's hard reality. Nobody likes to hear that. But that's the truth. Okay, right, so it looks like, all right, if we're going to do a bunch of diags, right? Okay, there it is, right? How would you, next thing, right, let's sweep that high. What would that be? That would be a little internal break of structure. What do we anticipate after the break? See how there's a method, there's a logic to it. I had somebody on my live stream the other day tell me that there's nothing logical here. I almost fucking guffawed right into the mic. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no logic? Wow, this guy who does not know anything about the markets. So anyway, I digress. So let's go to BONK. All right, BONK, what do we got over here? Oh, I got BONK over here. Let's get BONK over here. I've got this one tied to this. All right. Let's see how we look here. Now this one, I'm going to take this out of log. This is actually a decent example here. Let me push this over here. The reason, and this is a nice example, right? And again, I don't know what's coming, or this would relate to Bitcoin and the others. The reason I'm reluctant to buy into the idea that, oh, it's a 1 is just for showcase like we see right here, right? More typically, right, that's going to be corrective, right? And you would be anticipating that to be corrective. All right, you can just count it out. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? What do we look for at a pivot, right? We want to look for that sweep of liquidity. That's almost always, or Wyckoff traders would call it a spring. Jesus, what have we got? We've got the, oh God, we got the turtle soup guys, there's just a whole bunch of them, right? It's all just rehashing the same shit that's been in the market in TA for the last 35, 40 years, but it gets new names and new. There's nothing new in the markets, right? I got what's new in the markets. Right, I've been doing this for 30 years. Is that it's all algo driven, right? Algos are written by traders, right? With algos that we can identify, right? There's algos in here. We'll never know what they're doing, but for certain algos, right, we can track. Well, certainly liquidity is a key feature to any algo. Swept, right? It's just liquidity. You have to identify where the liquidity is and where's the algo going. That's what's new, right? But the way that the market moves, right? It's not new. It's just where it's going. Liquidity. It's just everywhere you look, right? You have to have an awareness of this liquidity. And if you're mindful of that and say, okay, so then this is what always frustrates me, right? We try and teach this because if I didn't think it would help you, I would not spend all this time on it. Okay, in the context of all those liquidity sweeps, is there an Elliott Wave structure here? Does an impulse present itself? Well, this is a tricky one because it looks like, and you can see I've squished it in here a little bit. because I was wrestling with this before I started. It looks like 1, 2, right? And then I've got this impulse here. Now, I could do this a couple of different ways. I could put the 3 up here. You could do it this way and put the 4 here and say A, B, C, and we go into the 5, and that's the 5 of the 3, right? Oh, what a beautiful impulse. My hesitation with that, and the reason I'm deferring, certainly we got to consider that. Get off of there. The reason I don't like that is it will be pretty evident here if we start to apply some traditional Elliott, right? So if this is the 3 and this is the 2, wait a minute, this is the 4 over here? I'm going to put the 4 over here? No. Again, it's not that couldn't be the 4, that's not possible, and that if we go, we do a moonshot here, that we're not going to be calling this the 4, right? That's never what I'm saying. I'm just saying in terms of, okay, where do I want to put money at risk, right? Do I love this so much here that I can see, oh, well, shit, well, there's the completed impulse, so that must be the 4. Nope, I don't, right? So because of that, oh, shit, let's see if I can just go backwards. Can I do that? Oops. Oh, I don't went too far. I'm going to do it this way. All right, there's the 4, there's the 5, right? So because I want this in a good Elliott, well, that's the right word here, right? In an Elliott wave structure here that I'm comfortable putting money at risk on, I want my impulses all self-contained in that channel. Once we break the channel out, we go this far away from it, I don't connect the 2. I'm not going to force the 4 over here. Now, can I complete it up here? Well, okay, what else would have me pausing here? Well, if this is the start of it here, if this is the 1, and we've completed up here, again, I'm out of things to say about it, right? So, duh. So that makes me think 1, 2, because I've got a beautiful, look at the B wave, it's just textbook, right? I can't make that, I can't Photoshop that any better. A, B, C, right into the gold. Here, we tap the 618 here, golden zone. Now we're coming out of here, all right? So this has already been tested, but not broken, right? So there's an algo still sitting here, right? Because here's this target. It won't get out. It'll still be there until it gets that target, or we get on the other side of 65 and it's out, right? And then, right, so as is always the case, what'll happen is it'll get stopped out, and then it'll take the next one, right? And that's why they don't care. They don't care which side wins. They do not care. Right, sooner or later, they'll get the bulk of it. Okay, so here we go. So this makes me think 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually more bullish. I don't want to put the 4 here. Now, want to, and oh, it's more bullish, right? That's not good TA. But when I look at it this way here, I can perfectly justify why that is more likely the 2 in my mind, right? I mean, you got to do the same thing, right? Don't put the 2 there because I'm putting it there. Put it there because you see the same thing, or you come to the same conclusion. Given the depth of that retracement and how far it's from the channel, that's more likely to be the 2, and we completed here. Okay, well, now right off the bat, what's the next thing I would do? Right, if you've watched any of my members, right, of course, you know what I'm going to do. What does that mean we have here? Golden corner pocket. Right, so we know that is, again, emphasis, always I have to do this, right, so that people don't misunderstand what I'm saying. That means as long as this pivot holds, right, and we know we have an algo, they're defending it, we have 80% that we get to that median line, 80% probability. Right, it's the best odds in trading. You hear me say this every time I draw one. Best odds in trading, least used technical tool of any that are available. Right? 95, 96% of traders lose money. Here's the reason why. They don't use median lines. Algos use them. Hedge funds use them. Did you forget to use them? Oh, I know there was something with that pitchfork thing and median lines, and well, I don't know what it is, right? So I'll just ignore it. That's what most people do, and most people lose money in the markets. So what do we have here? We have a candidate for a 2. Now, do we know that's the 2? No. There's no knowing of anything in the market. There's no knowing. There's only probabilities. I've got 80% odds of getting there. That's probabilities I want to trade. Now, am I a little late to the party here? Well, yeah, you can make that case. Right, because right, what are we going to run into here? right? That's the first thing it's got to get through. I get that clear. Where's that target? This algo is going to fire here. It's got a target down here. That would sweep this low, right? That would invalidate that pivot, right? So we would lose that 80%. And you can see now, you could redraw it here, right? Just because you lose the gold in here doesn't mean you couldn't do it down here, right? The emphasis point is the pivot holding. The odds increase because we know that's an algo that kicked there, that drove it. We know that's muscle. Plus, you know, look in here, right? So what we want to look for at every pivot, we want to see a liquidity sweep, right? Do we get it? Well, I've already got it in there, right? So if I pull this out of there, right? Here's the liquidity sweep. Oh, it's just right here, liquidity sweep, right here. It's just that this is the trigger that you're looking for. Look, there it is, right? It's just over and over and over. Here it is. Oh, you know, those are the best examples I've got. I mean, you can make a case that it's right here. I mean, every pivot you look at, right? That's what you're going to find, right? It's start to look for it. Your eye will, once you've seen it, right, you won't be able to stop seeing it. And when they don't get one, that's just equally as telling, right? Oh, we didn't get this one. So why doesn't it get it? Why doesn't it get? Oh, I thought it gets all of them. No, it doesn't get all of them. Sooner or later, it's likely to get all of them. It's going to get them, right? Because that's liquidity, right? And that's what the algo is looking for, right? That's what's different from, again, I'm almost 30 years of doing this. That's what's different, right? The algos drive it instead of the floor traders. Okay, all right, so we have this little pump coming into this, right? Now, would you be buying premium or discount? Well, in this PD array, right, premium discount array from this pivot to this pivot, well, you're buying in, you wouldn't, I'd like to think nobody's going to buy it right there, right? It's not that he can't break. It's just that would be a reckless, let me say it that way. That would be a reckless place to enter the market, right? We're already going up. You're going right into a golden zone. If you've watched more than 5 of my videos, you know that's a high risk place. Again, I'm not saying it can't get through. I'm just saying, let's say you buy it there and you say, oh, fuck that guy. I'm going to just buy it. And it gets stopped out. You going to buy it next time? Or is that going to create a little hesitation, right? Why even put yourself through that? Because even if we just tickle through it just a little bit, right? We're like, oh shit, that's no fun, right? You're clenching the whole time, right? You're nervous, like, oh shit, I know I was risky, but oh fuck, right? And then you can't relax and just let it run, right? Because you're anticipating, oh, I know I did something I shouldn't have done, damn it. Break that one. What's next? Got to break that one. All right, now once you break that one, well, now you're in clear, right? Fuck me, God, these things never hit on the first track. Once you break that, oh, now we're on the other side. Well, number one, right? You probably get the median line. Now there's this one, right? That's the one you want because we confirm, right? We killed the sell side resistance. This is the trade where you can be aggressive, right there. That's the one you want to be aggressive on. And you don't have to sit here with a limit order. Let it get a little reaction there. Show the reaction because your stop can be right underneath. Or 707, as I was suggesting earlier. What if that turns into a 5? Uh-oh. Then what are you thinking? W. Here's what you're thinking. X, W, X, A, B, C. Right? You just, again, it's logic. It is the epitome of logic. W, X, oh shit, A, B, C. Oh, well, I was wrong, right? But what was the risk reward like, right? Is the risk reward friendly here? Friendly here, friendly here, friendly here, right? Your stop's underneath, right? We use the 707, your stop's going to be, oh shit, come here. Your stop's going to be down here, right? If you got to be able to accept that risk. And see, if it's that small, you're not stressed about it. It's not like, oh, fuck. You're checking the market. It's like, okay, well, let it do its thing, right? If I get stopped out, okay, well, shit, right? I mean, I'm wrong more than I'm right. So, okay, thank you. Stopped its job. But if we hold here, oh, boy, the risk reward was just, I mean, this is the name of the game. This is what you're, fuck, where I always lose that thing. This is what you're trying to do. We got a good target. We got a reasonable risk reward. There's 4, 5 to 1. And that's assuming we only get to the first target. Right, that would be get to the median line. You definitely take a partial there. Can you live with 4 to 1? Well, okay, you got to do the math. Well, can you afford that? This is it. I don't, one thousandth of a cent. Yeah, you can probably afford that, but don't buy 1 million. You know, be smart about it, right? What's the appropriate risk for your account size? Right? How diversified are you? How many alts do you have? Right? That, you know, want to tighten it up even more? You get a little tighter there. There's 6.5 to 1. Yeah, I'm not. It's never one to say that trading is easy, but it certainly can be. There can be a logic applied to it. It's like it fucking sent me into orbit when the guy telling me there's no logic here. Okay, right. So there's BONK. All right, I got everybody covered. Near, did we do near? Shit, now I feel like I did near. Okay, hang on a sec. Okay, this is near. I'm over on Coinbase now because I want the full history. We can see swing, retrace. Oh shit, it's probably technical. All right, it's no surprise here. Oh, looks like we did a little front run on the target here. So swing, retrace. We got in the pocket. Oh, you probably got it twice there. You do. Little double with wicks, second target, third target. That seems to get it. All right. So the point of doing that historically is is it trading technically, right? Is Al in here? Well, you can assume he's in here. Okay. Right. So we come out of the chute here. It looks like, oh, here's the failure swing. It looked like you had a going for the impulse here. So you're going to have to. It's a little squishy down here. I don't know that I would call this corrective, right? What are you correcting, right? So we come out of the chute here. Likely you're going to do 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5 to this. So this would complete the 1. Now, did we get done here? 3, 4, 5. Let's push these up, right? Are we done here? Well, all the ingredients are there. Let me just take this off just for a second, right? So W, X, A, B, C, right? Not unlike Bitcoin. Now, here, same thing, right? Oh, starting with a 3. So we're doing, oh, hang on. We're doing this again. Are we doing this as diag? Yeah, that's come here. My reluctance is okay if we do it, right? I'm disappointed if we do it, right? It's just I'll be a little surprised, but there's obvious liquidity, right? For it to go grab for that 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we go up and get that 5? Okay, if we do, there's a clear location where you might anticipate it, right? We can all anticipate that's likely. That's Al, right? So there he is, swing, note, not 618, into the golden zone, gets the target, then off we go, right? Is this our leading diag? Okay, well again, same concept, right? If we complete up here, sweep that liquidity, get the 5. Again, the process, right? We're looking for that 3 to come back down, and that's the one we want, right? So I would let this complete. And this is me, right? Again, for what it's worth, right? I would let this complete that 5. Show me the 5. Because this, much like Bitcoin, right? Until we break that pivot, is this WXYXZ? We're coming lower, and the 2 is going to be down here. Certainly possible. But if I get this 5, right, well, I can lean into it now. Oh, I got a 5. So I can put the Y here, the 2's in, we're at the 50, a little front run on the 50. Okay, that makes sense. There's probably a case to be made here that you had some bullish order flow here. We got a little toe into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one I would wait for. Again, I'm not saying it couldn't just moon here. It's just less likely. Retrace, that's the one right there that I would go for. Now, if I go over to BloFin with near, we can see here's that 50 we just looked at. So there's the ABC. What's that? Is that corrective? It's a tough call to turn that into a 3. Is it a 5? It's a little sloppy no matter what you've got here. It's just a series of, it's just a downtrend, right? Is what it is, right? I'm reluctant to put any labeling on it. I'm not sure. B. What I can see with certainty is that what we want to look for at every pivot happened there as well. Sweep the low, right? And to give it more conviction, I had this on the other side. You want to see displacement, right? So can I get some fair value gaps? And can I get some traction coming out of there? That's where you really can. Whales will tip their hands, right? Whoever it is. This looks like that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, B, C into a B. Now, what are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like, so this is A, B, C. Okay, is this 1, 2, 3? Well, that looks like, oh shit. It looks like A, B, C there. Yeah, it does. Okay, so. All right, so let's put the full labeling on it. Is that 1, and that's 2, and that's 3? Are we doing 4 down here and 5's up here? All right, this is what the market seems to be leaning into. So same idea, right? Draw the geometry of it. Is this what we're doing? Well, right up. So here's a good example. You can see the imbalances that are right here. Right, all of that now has been mitigated here, and that looks like, what do you think is right there? Just a hunch. Just a little toe into the golden zone. I get it right on there. Just enough to get in. And do you see what's happening at the high, right? Do you see the sweep? Assuming you do, right? At every pivot, right? That's what they sweep the high, go into the golden, boom. Get this up right on there. Right, sweep the high, right? So anyone who's got their stop, but this is, you know, I mean, there's a long time people would tell you to put your stop 1 tick on the other side of the 618, right? Whoa, oh, what a shame, right? We know this is muscle, right? Because this, right, it's not you and me that can create that kind of displacement, right? That's muscle. 3, what we got here? A double. Now, this is true double, right? You didn't get a good sweep here, so you're like, is that going to be enough? Well, let's pull this out a little bit. Here, let's get this off over here. Okay, what do we got here? Now let's just start checking. What do we want to see? Well, what I like to see in a diag, I like to see the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3 to pivot at the 50. Right, I got a true double at the 50. So I can lean into that 4. And look how technical it is. A, B, C, question mark. A, B, C, A, B, C. Double at the 50. This little consolidation. Oh, shit, if I did this. Oh, where is this one? Let's do it this way. Right, so here's the, where's my POCs down here? So I got a high volume node here, right? So all of this, you can understand why you might see a reaction there. Now let's call it demand. Right, so we have demand here, right? It's a high volume node, right? So muscle can bury their size in that. Get out of there without disrupting the market. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, next up, we got to clear that. Well, remember, we're looking for 3, A, B, C, to get up there, to give us that 5. Off of this 50, there's the target. Now, I don't know. Right? Maybe it does it. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it does it like this. And we get this up here. Something to be watching for. It's going to be really interesting to see how these diags, right, how they all play out, right? But right now, looks like that's what we're doing. How am I doing? Oh, shit, that's an hour. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to go that long. I think I got everybody covered there. So I got all of them Bitcoin we looked at here. We'll go back and see if Bitcoin has blown that out. It has not as of yet. Let's just get this right here. Right, so we got the 707 still climbing, right? Breaking the golden little reaction breaks, 707 break. We're going to go all the way up to that supply. It's going to be interesting, right? This is the break where we invalidate. Can we get there? 60, let's call it 64.5, right? Oops, going to be interesting. I think that's all-time high. Oh, that's a 15-minute. So this is going to be the 4, right? If that holds, this is off the board, right? So we'll just put this over here. This goes off the board, right? And we lean into the idea that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up for the 5. We shall see. I remain slightly skeptical of that, but certainly, all right, I'm not going to be stubborn about it. If we break it, I'll be looking for the next retrace. Okay, guys, with that, I'll wish you a good weekend, and we'll be back next week. If you're looking for an exchange, give BloFin a visit. We're very happy with them. They've been very good to us, and I know that they'll treat you well. They've got all sorts of signing bonuses and get you some cash if you're depositing into the futures account. So have a look if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.